this thing forward so I can update the scoreboard. I was trying to make a cool scoreboard last night and then found out that the oh geez, I need to not have that on. There's ads playing because I logged into Dominion streams in an incognito window and my ad blocker isn't running. Need to get my mic a little farther away. I think Assemble Me can hear my... Yep. Okay. Well, he'll probably have to keep Dominion in focus in order to play Dominion, so we should be alright during the game. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the stream has a delay of probably 20 to 30 seconds, so anytime we respond to the chat it'll be... Oh yeah, sorry.
Sounds, I guess.
Yep, I had that off because it was looping earlier. Okay, should be able to hear Mick now. Let us know in the chat if he is not there.
Hi everyone. I was saying incredible things and you missed them.
Oh, that's no good. We lost a computer, according to Stef.
Oh.
So
that'll make it hard.
Let us know if our sound balance is good too. I can tweak that a little bit if one of us is way louder than the other.
I'm sure I'm quiet. I'm almost always the quiet one.
You're pretty loud in my...
Okay. But I'm saving the coughing and wheezing for the match itself.
I actually did get a cold earlier this week and was worried that I was going to be sniffling like Donald Trump. But I was going to have to pump myself up with some cold medicine, and fortunately it passed. Okay, Mick is a little bit loud. Let's turn that down just a little. And Assemble Me says it's fine, so...
RTT, you're not an avid follower of my videos. You don't immediately recognize my voice. I'm Mick, and that means the other one must be Deadlock.
Okay, we got ceviri back, so we are going to try to get reconnected to him. I have to find... Yeah, this one says the connection has been lost, but for some reason I can't get it to come to focus. There we go. And we will...
If you can, if you have time,
yeah.
probably you might want to mute the Skype notifications, but
yes.
There probably won't be too many more of those, so.
I will try to do that after I send you this meeting. You probably couldn't connect to it because
the computer was down.
Crashed.
Yeah.
Now I have to find our chat. There we go. Okay. And let's see if the stream picked that back up reasonably. It is not in the right place. Oh wait, he doesn't have a
All
Oh,
right.
where's the new one? Here's the new one. Okay. Is that the right person? Yes. I just need to adjust these windows. Right there. Actually, that might need to be a little higher. I am unsure if this is appropriate for Severi's hand, but we'll fix it as we go if it's a problem, and I will let them know that we're ready to go.
Well, I guess if they're gonna start, oh no, they're still kind of delaying.
I think we're good to go on starting now. I let them know. So let's go
All right.
ahead and
Welcome to the championship match, everybody.
do that for now. All right. Well, I guess we should look at this board and see what we think about it.
There's you can't chain actions, period.
You can chain a bunch of spice merchants.
Yeah, that's a spice merchant conspirator. You have to rebuy copper somehow.
With lots of contrabands.
So probably either giant or I guess just envoy, big money, which is not a matchup I know which is better.
Yeah, I don't know how good Giant is. I've heard Giant big money is a reasonable big money to play. Envoy is good. As far as the terminal drawers go, it's not necessarily the best, but it does draw you more cards.
But yeah, with Steph's 5-2, I think a giant opening is pretty clear. Because if you don't get that silver in, the terminal draws quite a bit worse. And apparently Tracer says giant beats envoy, and I know he has played around in the simulator quite a bit with this stuff. So as wary as I am of simulator results, I guess I'll believe him.
Yeah, seems reasonable. Maybe if you can not have bad luck with a little bit of spice merchant to get some coppers out, the envoy gets better, but
I don't
that
I don't
seems a little bit risky to me.
I don't know that a spice merchant will help you much there actually.
Yeah, I think
Because
you'd
the
have to get.
coppers are actually fine for envoy.
The estates are worse for
It's the non-treasures that are
you. Yeah,
really harmful. So
yeah,
I might open horse traders actually as on the 4-3.
yeah. If you want to go for giants, I think that would be
Though I
reasonable.
could also see Spice Merchant Silver to go for giants, just to play your giant a little more often. I can see trashing helping the giant player,
Yeah,
which is what Dr. Steelhammer actually just said. So um, I think on the 4-3 I would probably go Spice Merchant Silver and go for giants. It's nice though they have this board. He was considering his opening, even though it's just a big money board, really.
yeah. Make them think right away to keep things exciting.
And then the game itself shouldn't actually take forever. But they get to think a little bit. Yeah, Steph takes giant, so. We'll see if Steph adds a spice merchant in. I would think Noble Brigand, huh? I'm not sure about that, although.
Interesting. I guess ceviri did start with the silver envoy.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, once ceviri has this envoy, his choices are pretty constrained. Um, if he wants to have a deck that doesn't suck for envoy, which means treasures and possibly a second envoy later on. But apparently, your screen is doing this blinking thing, or RTT mentioned that it was.
Well, that isn't
But I don't.
something.
Oh, good.
uh,
JSH is here.
JSH is here.
Everything's
So
right in the
yeah,
world.
the blinking is something I see. I have no idea what causes it, but I had tested with some other people and they said it wasn't happening. So I'm not sure. Let us know if more people are seeing that. I decided it was my browser's fault.
Yeah, I didn't. Uh, I didn't see the blinking myself, but
I think it happens more when the video is static, so hopefully as they're playing it won't be quite so bad. Um,
do you happen to see the blinking in the OBS window or just in the
no,
browser?
yeah, it's not in the OBS. It's when I see it on Twitch.
Oh.
Um, and apparently Assemble can see
Everyone
it, but
should not use the HTML whatever Twitch thing and should use the
HTML5, yeah.
old one in your settings. So Steph hits a gold, which is pretty big deal. And the curses are just awful for Envoy as well.
Yeah, that probably actually plays into a lot of why Giant is better than Envoy in the simulator. Giving that Envoy curses is not good for it.
And I don't know that Ceviri then adds a noble brigand of his own, which to me is not going to help him much. Steph takes a duchy now, which seems a little premature to me. Like there, his envoy doesn't improve his hand at all.
Yeah, that is a unfortunate situation. Sorry, I was going to say something and then it left me.
And he's buying duchies now. Maybe Steph bought a duchy to convince Ceviri to buy duchies, which will make Ceviri's envoy completely useless. I don't really see Steph losing this one, but I've been wrong.
Yeah, I mean, bad draws can always do things to you that you don't expect, but Severe is still not too far down in the position here with only a 4-point deficit.
No, but I think the only person buying provinces after this point is Steph, unless Severi gets really lucky.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad for him, especially with that curse. Like he has that one curse, and that makes it so he can't get that tying position by matching duchies.
Yeah, and Steph's got his next giant play, flipping the token up and likely to get him a province.
Yeah, and it will here. So, and gave out another curse. So this is.
And Severi did hit province there, but I don't think It's really enough to matter.
I think he needs both of the remaining provinces to have a chance at this point. So yeah, it's looking pretty.
Yeah, this is game in Stef's hand. Over half. Well, when he's dealing with the cursor, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this board, who? I guess ceviri started the first one.
I think it was Stef, wasn't it?
Oh, was Stef?
Stef had the 2-5
Oh,
and
he had
passed
the
his
2. That's right. Okay.
first
That's
hand.
I was remembering the thinking being on ceviri's side at the beginning, but that was just because Stef had a 2.
Yep. Okay,
So
we got
we
Stef
actually
starting
hacked
again.
making fun to remove all villages from the kingdoms. I mean, I guess here is something like Swamp Hag and possibly traders. Steph takes the doctor on the opening, which
Yeah.
is I think reasonable. I mean, I think eventually you'll want Swamp Hags, but
Yeah, so you can get your bad stuff out, and the Swamp Hags seem good, but you can kind of get around that with Trader.
right.
So
Steph has the Dream Doctor, which is always nice. I assume he'll take a silver now. And
yeah,
Steph has already trashed like his entire deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he trashed an estate on turn 1, and did he?
He trashed two estates on
Two
turn
estates.
1.
Oh wow. So
He had the actual perfect best possible doctor draw.
Steph has cheater doctor going on here.
So he could maybe on Steph's already trashed 5 cards and ceviri's hasn't taken his turn 2 yet.
This is ridiculous. He got a
Which
2-5,
is
but I don't think getting the Swamp Hag early here is, even if it's the right decision, is going to do anything to make up for that doctor luck.
Yeah, I mean it's actually a resignable position against Steph at this point, but they could play it out. I don't know if Steph will take a Swamp Hag or a Trader now, because Trader is pretty good, I think. To hit the doctor once you're done with it and have just a really nice deck with lots of silvers. But he is taking a Spice Merchant to clean out the rest of his coppers.
Well, there's nothing left in his deck for the doctor to hit, so
he can hit an estate now.
He can, yeah, he probably will. There's no coppers in there, so he'll definitely hit the estate.
Yeah. I wonder if he'll pass on this hand.
Yeah, I mean, his odds of doctoring that curse are actually not great.
Although he
does
gets
go ahead and
to,
take it
if he wants to. Well, not guaranteed, but
yeah, so he's got a good chance of hitting it here.
I actually don't really like the remodel as much as a Trader, but
yeah, Breppert made the same comment. He said he likes Trader. Well, he didn't say that he likes it over remodel, but yeah, at this point, ceviri may or may not be playing Swamp Hags very reliably. He can pick another one up here if he wants to keep those up a little bit better, but I guess Steph probably will end up with a 50% chance of hitting that curse with Doctor, because he'll likely use the Spice Merchant first.
without trashing, ceviri is not going to play the swamp hag really often enough for it to be a big concern. Though it will. Oh, and they collide, of course. He's having really rotten luck this game. So Stef can trash a copper if he wants. And he does. And I really can't say I like the remodel very much at all, but
He's probably thinking that he wants the remodel to get rid of the doctor now that it's not very useful.
yeah. Although, I mean, I'm sure here he'll trade her. Well, he can't even really buy anything useful because he didn't hit his silver. So he can't make use of the trader against Swamp Hag, really.
Well, he could buy a copper and get 2 silvers.
Get 2 silvers. That's true. That would actually be pretty nice.
And he
I
maybe
mean,
remodels into a swamp hag, although he's got a lot of terminals.
yeah. I mean, I think it's still okay. I think I would do that, actually. Remodel the doctor into the Swamp Hag and take double silver.
Oh, he's going to play the doctor. He doesn't like
Yeah.
any of the suggestions.
He is gonna do the double silver thing, though.
Yeah.
He just didn't like the curse, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose he's not going to have a lot of opportunities to get rid of those curses, so it's a reasonable choice there to go ahead and take it out when he has the opportunity. Now he has a choice of possibly remodeling the silver. I guess he doesn't have a swamp hag in play on him, so he doesn't need the trader in hand either.
I would remodel the Spice Merchant just into gold or Swamp Hag myself.
Yeah.
I think having 2 coppers is really fine. But Stef is committed to his trashing.
He's committed to remodeling his doctor. He Spice Merchant to silver.
I agree with Breppert, who says that Stef is a little too concerned with the being clean here, and I feel pretty much the same way.
Yeah, this game's pretty runaway at this point. But he's got to keep himself in a serious mindset in order to make sure he doesn't drop the next 3 games after this one. But yeah, I think a lot of us, our gut reaction would have been to remodel that Spice Merchant. There's not a lot of coppers left at this point. And trashing the silver in order to turn Doctor into Swamp Hag is, I don't know. He probably will be playing a Swamp Hag almost every turn here pretty soon, which will put him in even stronger position than he already was. But
Ceviri here is, as we watch the mouse, considering a Swamp Hag versus a trader, he goes with the Swamp Hag. I'm not really sure between those. I feel like with the number of terminals Stef has, you want to expand the deck a little bit more than he has. But
yeah, maybe he'll trader the Spice Merchant here and get his deck expanded. Actually, he's got the Swamp Hag in play, correct? So he could potentially even take the 4 silvers and start going after provinces this turn.
Yeah, I kind of think he's still going to trash the last copper based on how he's been playing.
Yeah.
And probably, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I realize
he wants to keep the trader in hand for the Swamp Hag.
Yep, I realized that as soon as his turn started, and I saw the curse markers that he would definitely want to keep the trader in play for that turn.
So he gets
Oh, he took the bye, so he was able to get 2 silvers.
Yep. He gets a lot of silver that turn. I would say here he probably can take another swamp hag, yeah. Deck probably won't sustain itself.
You might want to say that again. I think Skype gave us a little trouble. And it's doing it again.
Ceviri's hand is frozen.
Ceviri's hand is frozen.
Just for me. I think my
okay.
internet is doing terribly. All I said was that I think ceviri has to take Brahmins every time he can hit it, but of course he did.
Yeah. He is in the lead currently. So Stef now has another trader decision here. The Swamp Hag isn't in play, so he can trader this curse if that's what he wants to do to get rid of it. You can also take the silvers from the Spice Merchant at this point, which
yeah, I like that.
Also seems pretty good. So now he's got another 4-buy. He might be, I guess I am not watching his full screen. I'm only watching the OBS window here, but might be considering trader here. Although with the size of his deck,
I don't think trader does. Yeah, I don't think a trader does much for him at this point. Messenger is interesting, maybe. I was thinking possibly a scavenger for him.
Yeah, that could be good because he could use it to get a treasure if he knows where his swamp hags are, or possibly get a swamp hag on a turn that he needs it. Dr. Steelhammer says the remodel wasn't very good. Yeah, we didn't
see it.
He
played it once.
He did remodel the doctor, which I think was his whole purpose for getting it. So ceviri decides to messenger silver. It's a reasonable play. The one more silver doesn't help Stef too much.
The ceviri has had pretty rotten draws. Well, at least some of them that I've seen.
Yeah.
So. I think I'm having team issues.
Yeah, you're cutting out of Skype a little bit here. Sees Stef there with an opportunity to remodel a province. He cannot take it though because of the board position, and this game is playing out a lot closer than we would have expected. Seems like Stef is still in a good position here with the 1-point lead with 2 provinces left, but probably anything can happen at this point depending on how their luck goes. Stef does not.
Yeah, I think
to duchy here.
That I think Stef will be able to win it here. But again, I am actually having troubles right now, just with the seeing the games at all.
Any chance it would help, I could throw a team viewer your way of the stream instead of connecting to both of theirs at the same time. Stef's gotten the second to last province here, and he does have a more than 6-point lead, so he's in pretty strong position. Looks like he has the win in hand now with remodel and province, so that one finished very quickly after some turns where they thought for a while.
Yep.
So we got Stef with wins
first two. Say that there was no chance really, but I do think he was up. Although, it worked fine. Well, they have a village this time, and actually, that's enough of a village to go for the engine here. With all the other things they have, mainly with the highways and the council room.
Yeah, so council room and catacombs are both some really strong draw there. You can also pick up a little extra draw with expedition, so yeah, crossroads is definitely going to be enough to get it done here.
I think if I were Stef, I would take the council room opening. If there's a good shot at a nice trade, then
yeah,
and you
so
wouldn't necessarily have to play for the highway engine, though it's the fairgrounds make me want to play with the engine more, but but the trade with terminal draw is really good at just mowing down provinces as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, council room with trade, possibly even with a gear thrown in there.
Right.
Could be quite fast. There's also not a big pile of buys. You kind of have to play council rooms with crossroads in order to get a bunch of buys if you do the highway thing.
Yeah, you can get up to 4 buys, and you'll be playing several council rooms essentially just for the buy, or a couple probably,
Mm-hmm.
and giving your opponent big hands, but it might be worth it for the extra gains.
Yeah, there is fairgrounds here too, which can help the engine with some points if they get behind to something big money. But I gotta feel like council room trade, especially when you're getting extra cards from your opponent too, is gonna be able to get through 8 provinces pretty solidly.
Yeah, and it's pretty hard to actually make the fairgrounds worth 6.
Yeah, they're probably only 4 for the engine here.
And so I'm not actually sure about the highways, to be honest, now that I watch it more. So Steph is just headed for a catacombs. He's not going to hit 5 here, yeah. I would have actually preferred a council room over the catacombs, I think, but we'll see what he had the gear. I kind of think, well, we'll have to see what Steph does once he's into it, but I think I would skip the highways.
Yeah, it seems a little complicated. But we'll see how it plays out. If he goes for the highways, we'll see how good they are.
This turn, Stef at least, or this game at least, Stef is not having bonkers good draws.
Yeah, we got a little bit of conservation of shuffle luck here.
Yeah.
He's got a...
Because he still isn't getting a trade in until this next turn. And
yeah, so he hasn't hit 5, and he's had some collision that didn't work out so well for him. That crossroads last turn didn't draw into either of his draw cards, which would have made the last turn way better.
mm-hmm.
He's considering expedition here.
His hand's already going to be huge though,
yeah.
So the expedition doesn't,
No.
to me, doesn't do much extra for him.
It's even bigger because ceviri played Counselor Room.
Mm-hmm. I think if I were ceviri, I would have maybe looked at a trade for 2 of those coppers and then bought something else. He could have saved back 3, 6, 10. He could have had 10, so he could have traded and bought a 5, up to a 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Steelhammer agrees that he should have traded there. So, yeah, he had...
Not that his deck is bad by any stretch. Of course, it's one of those things where if you draw your terminal draw at the top of your shuffle and they draw it at the bottom, you're just going to crush them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going just straight for those provinces.
Yeah, I would have definitely liked one more trade, but now Steph has this rain of gears.
Mm-hmm. Steph goes ahead and takes the province there. He doesn't want to fall too far behind. He could have also gotten another trade in there and finished off his estates and a copper.
So for ceviri, I think I guess you can move to duchies already, but also an expedition is okay, I think. But I wouldn't get a council room.
Yeah, I think his draw is pretty well set up at this point. He drew into his gear with the council room last time he played it. He certainly doesn't have room for another council room. I mean, possibly another gear fits okay in his deck.
He takes an expedition. Here I believe I would... We'll have to see. Steph is now getting the lucky draws, whereas Crossroads is in his starting hand with good cards, although he still doesn't really have enough money. Quite.
Yeah, he's a little thin on money right now, and he does not have a buy. He doesn't necessarily need one here. I mean, he doesn't have the money to make use of it, so...
But yeah, if he has this schemed Crossroads, which he apparently has a magic Crossroads, then he'll win, but that shouldn't last the whole game.
Yeah, it seems like he should be needing a second Crossroads here that he could tuck away with gear.
Yeah, which is Dr. Steelhammer mentioned.
Yeah.
I think so. Now he's just saving the Crossroads, which is smart. ceviri is just going to autoplay this council room, which he shouldn't. He should just end and buy the province. Because
hasn't played it yet, though.
It's a really bad shuffle to trigger.
He appears to be thinking about it.
And I don't think... I mean, he might get to province touchy, but he'll have just...
He doesn't need that at this point. He's ahead with 2 provinces left if he takes it here. So I agree completely.
Of course, we'll see what Stef does. If Stef feels
He did not play
greedy
the
or not.
council room. Stef discarded all of his money in order to get to his gears, and is not going to hit 8 here, although he probably takes a duchy in this position anyway, being down by 3.
He could hit. He could have gotten to 8, but he didn't want to.
Are we supposed to alternate first player on these? Looks like Stef was first on this one again.
There's just rules about who has to go first so many times. I mean, as long as it's a balanced number, they don't have to alternate.
Okay. Well, ceviri will be first player for the rest of the matches here. It looks like Stef has gone first on all of these.
Severi's got a lot of money in his next hand, I know, because we haven't seen his gold or a couple of silvers yet, so he's actually in an okay spot. I wonder if he's up to... See, since Ceviri doesn't have this crossroads, he doesn't actually... his fairgrounds now would not be worth 4. Mm-hmm. Stef has 4-point fairgrounds, I believe. Well, Stef doesn't have a gold, though, so neither one actually has 4-point fairgrounds available unless they add another unique.
Yeah, so Stef would need to fit a gold in or something else, and ceviri's got to pick up. Now, ceviri does have the council room, so he can possibly snag a crossroads or something at some point.
Right. Yeah, he has more flexibility there. Stef's deck should be a lot worse than it's doing, but the crossroads shows up at the start of his at the start of every one of his turns, basically.
Yeah, that's been a little bit ridiculous here.
It would be really, really nice to have the availability of a 4-point victory card versus this 3. It's just a much better target for duchy dancing, but
yeah. Well, and if one of them could manage to pick that up and the other can't, then like if ceviri's able to make use of this extra buy to hit 4-point fairgrounds, it might actually work out pretty nicely for him. He's reasonably likely to be able to buy 2 duchies here, which he did not quite reach. He got to 9. So possibly fairgrounds with the crossroads or something is a good call for him here.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully he notices it. He's looking at the crossroads, so
good handle on how many uniques he has. And he did do crossroads fairgrounds. He saw that. Unfortunately, he's only hit 4 here on his next turn, so he'll have to get some mileage out of those crossroads in order to, or out of those fairgrounds in order to.
I think for Stef went first, so he could take the state and be available, and then he can threaten the tie. But I think an expedition would also be pretty good. Because the expedition at least gets you into your next shuffle. And then you don't have this garbage hand, or you don't have as much of this garbage hand.
Yeah.
Both the decks are going to have quite a struggle, actually, to hit 8, I think. Stef doesn't have very much money at all.
Yeah, Steph only has about $9 in his deck total, so he's gonna definitely have a hard time.
I mean, he does have a Magic Crossroads in his deck.
Oh man, it's ridiculous.
So that is a big boost.
It's a boost. Yeah, this is why Steph had to leave the Dominion League for next year, because otherwise these
no one would believe this stuff.
these conspiracies would be a little stronger. But Steph, I guess he still has more actions in draw, so he's going to gear away some provinces to make his schemed crossroads a little better next turn. Although, technically, I guess he can discard with this crossroads. Although he's not going to. He will
he's
not.
Holding. There's a couple of silvers in the bottom there, I guess.
Yeah. Now, if he gets his crossroads next turn, we know he's cheating because it's not in his deck.
Maybe if even Expedition won't do it for him.
He should have discarded with that Catacombs, because then he would have 4 cards left in his deck and he would draw his crossroads.
Ceviri can actually have a pretty good idea of what Stef's hands are, due to in this case at least, due to this crossroads.
Yeah, that is true.
And so Stef is getting a gold.
That gets his crossroads to 4. Yeah.
So his crossroads are 4 now.
That does allow Ceviri to take that last duchy, which might have been good for.
Takes a Jester, which is pretty reasonable too.
Yeah, there's a lot of green in the decks now. Jester's got a pretty decent chance of picking up that point and giving out the curse.
They'll just never buy province again.
It's gonna end on duchies, estates, and fairgrounds.
Someone's got a expedition, and by someone I mean Ceviri.
Yeah, I think expedition on these.
Isn't Ceviri have a crossroads council room sitting in the bottom here?
That seems true. Yeah, and he did take the expedition, so he could have a big turn here if he gets a decent draw.
He needed a lot more green in this starting hand.
Yeah, he did.
Stef gets a
second crossroads. His crossroads finally failed
on
and
turn.
He realized he should have another. Yeah.
Now we get to do fairground dancing.
I mean, the question
I guess Ceviri can take the province, right? If he wants.
Yeah. Well, Steph doesn't have an extra buy, so it seems like it might be a great idea, especially since Steph has not been getting close to 8. He does hit 8 here, but he can't take it, so.
Yeah. The problem is Steph has all these gears, so he can hit 6 this turn and maybe 8 the next turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Though he didn't, but I think Ceviri should expedition again.
Yeah, I would agree. He needs that province, basically.
I mean, I don't think the expedition is not going to get him a province, but it still seems like the thing to do. he has to hit a crossroads, basically.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, so assuming Stef isn't able to find 8, ceviri needs to get to that province before Stef can buy enough fairgrounds to.
which, fortunately for ceviri, Steph didn't hit 6 either, so
Yeah.
he's still got another turn.
Now Stef has a decision on what to gear here. He can keep the catacombs in a copper possibly and buy an expedition, or he can save the gold over and do nothing. Or he could save a green card for his magical crossroads, which actually he probably knows there's one there this turn. Finally had a crossroads that was in the end of his shuffle. Got some talk about the engine again here in the chat, which, given how this is played out,
I can see it too, but I think they didn't play the big money all that well.
yeah, I would
ceviri
agree. They both
I mean,
only
they didn't really have much money.
Yeah, they only traded once each. Like they both still have a starting estate. They didn't trade any other coppers. Um,
And Steph has it now. But I think it could have gone much faster if they'd prepared the decks a little bit more with the money. And the fairgrounds are just really hard to make 6.
mm-hmm.
And if you are playing council rooms in your engine, you give them better hands, and that helps the money player out quite a bit. Actually, the extra card, but I wouldn't know without playing the engine versus it.
Yeah.
I think the issue is getting the fairgrounds to 6 is a problem, and I think if they put more money in their decks beforehand, then they can actually clean out a good number of the provinces just fine.
Yeah, I mean, trade big money council room feels like something that ought to be able to clean out those provinces
But
pretty quick.
the highway engine, I mean, to me it looks competitive, but I would have to play it to know how they interact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have something that looks reasonably engine-y here. Ceviri opened with a doctor. And Steph goes ahead and grabs a hermit with 3. So we've got minions with workers' villages, copper trashings, a little weak. You can expand them, but that's going to be pretty late. Well, no, never mind. Doctor.
Well, there's doctor for copper trashing.
What am I talking about?
So I mean, the bridge troll mega turn looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, you got extra buys on those workers' villages. You can play bridge trolls and minions. Possibly even a well-timed madman in there.
So I think the key here is just getting to a deck that can buy a minion while simultaneously trashing, and then adding the engine pieces, the bridge trolls, worker villages, and more minions.
Yeah.
I don't know that the rest of the board is too relevant. I mean, you can lighthouses obviously are nice to stop those attacks, and the I don't see this cut purse or the scavengers being worth it, although you may hit 4 and then take one.
Mm-hmm.
Like ceviri is doing here, which seems fine to me.
Yeah, I mean, given Stef's shuffle luck so far in this match, I expect him to play Necro, trash the Ogi with Hermit, draws Doctor, and then
Trust
trash
Doctor.
3 coppers.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be about how it's going.
We'll see how it works out for him. He's trying to decide whether to play the Necro. JSH is lamenting his loss to Stef in the last round.
I didn't get to watch any of that, really. I think I saw like a minute of it.
Yeah, I read the recap of how the games went.
It's okay, JSH. You made it further than most everybody else. Stef is taking another hermit. I suppose he's going to go for a madman here.
He did draw his Doctor, by the way.
Yep.
3
Oh,
coppers. It's insane.
It is. It's not, it's like, it's totally, it's, you just throw your hands up, I guess. No, you don't have to throw your hands up. You could still win with good, as long as you also get good doctors.
Yeah.
But so Steph will for sure get a. You could buy Bridge Troll before Minion actually is not crazy either. The Minion is better at buying Bridge Trolls than the Bridge Troll is at buying Minions, but if you're putting 2 lighthouses down, it's not so crazy.
Yeah.
He can trash his Doctor if he wants.
Yeah, I mean,
he may still get a copper trash out of it.
Yeah, his chances of hitting those coppers aren't super high, but he can probably get at least one more of them. And he does get to his first 5 here. We'll see which direction he goes with it.
He gets a minion.
Minion is looking like the answer.
At least that's where the mouse is hovering.
He's thinking about it though. He was considering the Mandarin.
Right. Doctor combo.
That's right.
Get those coppers on top of the deck. You'll never have to worry about trashing them. Ceviri is nice. Okay, Severi's going to start with the Bridge Trolls. The attacks shouldn't really matter too much because they will probably be defended a lot of the time. Although, the lighthouses may miss some. Ceviri can be attacked this turn, but I kind of expect... Well, I'm not sure if Stef will play the minion for the attack or not.
Yeah, he's got one... I think he's guaranteed.
He's guaranteed to get
5.
Back to 5, yeah.
But if he wants an expand, I guess that does make sense. So
I'm not convinced of the expands, but
yeah, I mean, is he gonna hermit trash the Doctor now? There is 1 copper in there.
we'll just try for the copper.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. Hermit's the Bridge Troll Hermit interaction is of course really nice.
Yeah, this is really good because Ceviri can pick up some villages with that Hermit now.
Yeah, he's I guess he's thinking about trashing his doctor, but I think I would keep it around on the off chance that you get to hit some coppers with it. And we'll see if ceviri adds his second bridge troll or not. I wouldn't actually. I would be careful about throwing in lighthouses.
Yeah, they work with the minions, but I mean, you don't have your minion engine up yet, and they're not that great at this point. Having too many in your minion engine can be a little messy too.
Well, just because he's still not quite thin.
Yeah.
Um, though he's pretty thin.
Yeah, they've both piled on the lighthouses pretty heavily though at this point.
Severe deck. He puts a minion, which seems fine. I would have also considered. This might give him a chance to do a nice doctor, actually, except he didn't draw it. So that's unfortunate, because that would have really helped him.
Yeah.
I would not take an expanded ceviri. I think he's not ready to make full use of it.
Yeah, here he can get village minion. That seems better than the expand at this point. He can get his.
But I mean, yeah, I don't. It's okay. It's not what I would do, but it's not bad. I just think I would rather have more minions.
Yeah, I would want to get my deck rolling a little bit more at this point. He does go ahead and take the village
and I wouldn't do a second bridge troll now.
Yeah.
I would wait till the turn I have the bridge troll in play, I think. So I suppose Stef will kill the doctor now.
Yeah, so he can expand.
He might kill the copper. He does have a copper left in his deck, I think. So he could also trash it with doctor.
He's gonna go ahead and expand the doctor into.
This is a little strange if he's expanding the doctor to a workers' village. To me,
I guess he just feels he needs that village this turn in order to play. Yeah, he got that so he could play all of his terminals, and now he can get another one with his hermit. It's not totally unreasonable.
the big thing is now that he's got 2 bridge trolls, his hermits will gain 5s now. Which should be a pretty big deal. Yeah, it's just that turn to get those triple copper trashes in with the doctor makes all the difference in how quickly a deck like this can explode. So unless ceviri here somehow on this turn gets a big trash in, he's going to have a hard time competing, I think. That was nuts.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
Now he can get.
We're kind of getting to the point where piles are an issue because of how many buys they have.
Yeah, those workers' villages really give you a lot of buys.
And you can generate a few more with traveling fair.
Yeah.
So since you're just going to pile out the estates as your third pile after the workers' villages and the lighthouses.
Yeah. The estates and the lighthouses will be free for
so
Stef.
you can spend all your cash on
traveling fair.
Traveling fair buys. but I think you have to get.
Ooh, and ceviri drains the villages. That
I don't know why he didn't get another bridge troll. To me, that looks like a clear mistake.
I mean, maybe he feels like he's limiting Stef's terminal space, but Stef doesn't have to play a hermit and an expand, so he can fit more bridge trolls in even, and he may not even need that to finish the game here. What does Stef have for buys then? He's got,
because Steph only needs 10 buys. Though if he's doing the hermits, it's a little harder. Then he can't use the traveling fairs as easily.
yeah, so he's got one hermit gain here this turn. The estates and lighthouses will be free, but he's got 3 workers' villages and 2 bridge trolls. So he'll be at 6 buys. And 1 gain, so he needs $8. I'm not sure he has that. Well, maybe he does if he can play both his minions.
I mean, he either needs 10 gains or just 11. Probably the 11 is actually easier to do the estates and the lighthouses. Yeah, I think if he gains a lighthouse, right?
If he gains a lighthouse here and then attacks with this minion, does he have 2 minions in there that he can play for money?
No, I think he only has.
Oh yeah, there's only 4 gone. They both only have 2 minions.
2 minions.
But if he has 1 and he draws the lighthouse, then that would get him to $8, I think.
Well, he'll either draw a lighthouse or a copper.
Oh yeah.
Either
Well,
one.
he needs both of them, I think. Lighthouse, copper, and minion to get 4 more dollars.
I see. Well, he's going to draw minion, bridge troll, and then 1 of lighthouse or copper.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No,
True.
he's got an expand in there. So it's expand, bridge troll,
Oh.
and minion.
Yeah. So he could can he expand anything? He could expand the copper or the lighthouse into another one. Then he only needs $6, and I think that is it. Right? So if he hermit gains a lighthouse, then discards with the minion, he'll have bridge troll, expand, minion, and lighthouse or copper.
Right.
He can expand the lighthouse or copper into another lighthouse, play the bridge troll, play the minion for dollars. He'll have $6. It's enough for 3 traveling fairs. Oh wait, does he only have 2 villages? I guess he only has 2 villages. I had counted 3 for him earlier, so.
Oh, okay. Well, then he's just a gain short, I guess.
1 gain short.
Unless he
can
sees
chain all
some.
of the hermits down. But
No, he does have a village, so it wasn't a minion.
Oh,
he only has 1 minion.
Okay.
So he can. Well, we'll see what he can do here.
Well, what does he have? He can only get to 6, 7, 8 buys with traveling fair. So yeah, he's definitely short on ending it here.
So if he gains 2 more hermits here, then he'll have. I think he can do it. No. He's like $1 short.
Okay. Yeah, because if he gained 2 hermits, then he would have the 6 gains for 2 hermits, 3 lighthouses, and an estate. Well, wait, how much is that? He doesn't need to buy any traveling fairs, right? He can hermit a hermit, expand into a hermit.
But he doesn't have a point.
Oh yeah, I miscounted the hermits. There's 6.
A tie is winning for him though, right?
Yeah, tie is winning the match. and he did go second, so he can take the tie. He can also... Does he have enough for a traveling fair? No, he'd be $1 short of buying the traveling fair and still being able to run out the hermits.
But if the tie wins, then he has it, right?
Yeah, he should take the tie. Because he can gain 2 hermits, and then there's 3 lighthouses, 3 hermits. He's got the 6 buys already.
Yeah.
So he can end it on this tie.
Yeah. If he realizes that a tie's enough, then he should be able to do it. It's just a question, I guess, of whether he realizes that a tie is good enough.
Yeah, it seems like he's has to have seen the tie at this point, so maybe it hasn't occurred to him that is equal to a match win. Oh, is he checking first player?
He's checking turns now, which makes me think he realizes it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna do it here.
It's probably one of those things where he's just double checking in his mind several times. I don't think ceviri needed to pile out the workers' villages that last turn, but
yeah, I feel like he was probably thinking of that as a denial play on actions for Stef, because he only had 3 villages, but it was definitely risky with the piles there.
Yep.
Oops, that was wrong. What am I doing?
All right, well, congratulations to Stef in a surprising result. We're all shocked. The 2016 Dominion Strategy Championship winner is Stef. Few of those games, well, I thought they were interesting boards pretty much all around, actually, myself, though I know some would disagree.
Yeah, the first 2
and
were...
Stef had sort of crazy good draws.
Yeah, I think if I were to say something was not interesting about this final, it was Stef's incredible draws. But ceviri still played very well. He was still in some of those matches a little bit, despite the crazy draws.
Yeah, no, I thought they both played pretty well. That game that turned into a forever game with the money and stuff, but anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and
yeah, we'll can go ahead and talk in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream since Stef's screen is down and there's not really anything to see anymore anyway.